I speak unto thee this day, and I say that I, the living God, never called my people to live afar off from me, but to come forth in my way. And I say that I called my people to serve me with gladness and rejoicing, that it is me they are privileged to love, to serve and obey and follow after. And I say, if the ones who are my people will be in obedience unto me, then they are well-pleasing unto me. But I say, when the ones who are claiming that they love me, that they serve me, that they go a-whoring after the ways of the heathen do so, then they are a grief unto me. For I say that I, the living God, never called my people to have eyes full of adultery as they do in this wicked generation. That is, I never called them to be ever craning the neck, straining the eye, looking upon the forbidden, and yet they do. For I say, you are not meant to let your heart go out to the vileness, the wickedness, the corruption that the heathen are in. But I say, you are meant to keep yourselves unspotted from the world and ever present in me. Now I say, if you really consider what it is that men do when they crane the neck, when they strain the eye, I say they become as fools before me. For I say they remind me of dogs on a leash who are straining against their master's hand. That is, they are straining to get free, they are straining to go running away, they are straining to chase after something, and they do not behave themselves in obedience unto the master's commands. I say, so it is that many of those who claim that they are my people are no better than dogs. For I say they chase after everything that comes along. They have not learned to be in obedience, and yes, they even refuse the same. For somehow they think that they have some great freedom to chase after every vanity, vexation, and darkness, but I say they are chasing the wind. And I say they are going in pursuit of those things that I, the living God, never ever intended for them. Now I say that if dogs can be trained to obey their masters, and they are, cannot my own people be trained to be servants unto me? That is, to be in obedience unto me, to be doing as I dictate unto them, rather than chasing every vile thing. I say this day that I, the living God, do not find pleasure in those who run after vanity, vexation, stupidity, and darkness, as though there were something to be found in the same. But I say that I find my joy in a people who will walk uprightly, coming forth in me. Now I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of all righteousness, the way of all truth, and the way of mercy provided. And it is me, the living God, who will cause thee to be uplifted in that which I give thee day by day. It is me, the living God, who will cause thee to be uplifted in that which I purpose, that which I provide for thee. For I say it is me, the living God, and me alone you are meant to seek, to please, to obey, and follow after. And I say you are not meant to get eyes full of adultery for the things that will cause you to lose your own soul. Now I say that I, the living God, am jealous after my people, and when my people will walk uprightly, they are ever kept by me. But I say, when my people go a-whoring from me, then they cause me to ventilate my wrath upon them. I say there are multitudes even now who lay claim to me as their God, yet I say their hearts are far from me. And I say that I, the living God, do ventilate my wrath upon them time and again, because they've chosen estrangement from me. Now I say that I, the living God, never called thee to estrangement from my arrangement, no, not at all. But I say that I've called thee to be coming forth, uplifted, directed, and guided in the truth, the light, the strength of who I am. I say that I've called thee to walk circumspectly, to be ever guided, directed, and corrected by me. For I say it is me, the living God, alone of all the gods, who gives thee tender mercy, loving kindness, and the truth that I provide. I say this day, why not be rejoicing for the privilege to be uplifted, for the privilege to be directed and ever guided by me. I say, why not be rejoicing that you can come forth in the truth, the light, the strength that I give thee day by day. For I say, if you really consider what it is that I, the living God, do for thee, I say that I bring thee goodness and truth, life and hope and peace always. And I say that I cause thee to be ever guided in that which I give thee, which is the truth, the light, the strength, and the mercy day by day. Therefore I say this day, be glad for the privilege to believe, be glad for the privilege to receive of me. That is, be glad for the privilege to be directed in that which I give thee time and again. I say, be glad for the privilege to be ever purposed by me, the one true God who is caring for thee. For I say, it is me, the living God, you are meant to be serving with gladness, for it is through me that you gain eternal life. Now I say, if you consider all of the things that could be a temptation unto thee, where do they end? I say they end a man, they end a woman in hell, in the damnation of their own souls. And I say, when you consort with demons and take up their ways, I say you become a sorrow unto me. And I say you prove you are not faithful, nor true, nor serving with gladness. Now I say that I, the living God, never called my people to be abusing me, to be accusing me, as they are in this wicked generation. But I say they do so because they are guilty, ever guilty before me. That is, they are guilty of transgression, violation, and giving themselves to the gods of the heathen. I say they are guilty of walking far off from me and going in a way that I never ordained. Now I say it is me, the living God, who does intend that you would be kept uplifted, guided, and directed by me always, for it is me you are meant to please. That is, you are meant to be coming forth ever made glad that I am the one who is caring for thee. And I say you are meant to be coming forth ever made glad that I've given unto thee the truth, the light, the strength, and the mercy that I alone do bring. For I say, if you really consider what a privilege you've been given to follow after me, then I say that you will not play the harlot on me. But I say, if you are ever loving yourself more than you love me, then I say you will be as those under the wrath. For I say you will always choose the base, the vile, the corrupt, seeking for that which you do not need at all. And I say you will prove that it is not me that you love, but rather the indulgence of self. I say that the war against self is ever present, therefore fight the same. That is, be willing to resist, refuse, and not accept anything that self would try to get thee to do. For I say that self is ever seeking to have its way, to reign supreme when it is not meant to be so. But I say that I, the living God, am the one who is meant to bear rule over thee. I say this day, be glad that you can be serving me, that you can come forth rejoicing, ever uplifted in my way. And I say, be thankful that I, the living God, do give to thee the truth, the light, the mercy, and the peace always. I say, be thankful that I purpose thee, that you can indeed be ever strengthened, directed, and guided forth by me. For I say, it is me, the living God, and me alone of all the gods who is able. Therefore I say, be dependent upon me. That is, be dependent upon me for mercy and truth, for life and strength, and the hope that I provide. I say, be dependent upon me, for I am the one who gives to thee the way wherein you are meant to walk. I say, be dependent upon me, and you will come forth ever made glad, rejoicing in my way. For I say, it is me, the living God, who is righteousness, truth, blessedness, strength, and the peace provided for thee. Therefore I say, continue as a people whose vision is single, whose hope is upon me, and come forth rejoicing in me. For I say, the more that you seek to be true and faithful unto me, the more that I, the living God, do honor thee. For I say that I do not place my honor, my seal, upon the ones who are full of adultery, perverseness, and vile in my sight. But I say that I place my seal of acceptance upon the ones who will walk uprightly in me. That is, coming forth made glad, ever thankful for the privilege to walk in me, for the privilege to be redeemed, for the privilege to partake of my life. Now I say, it is me, the living God, who does give to thee the truth and the light, the strength and the mercy and the peace day by day. And it is me, the living God, who will indeed guide thee forth, that you can be ever rejoicing in me. I say, therefore, this day, as you seek to walk in me, I say, do so with singleness of vision and commitment unto me. That is, do not be turning aside from my will, my ordination for thee, and imagine somehow you get by. For I say that the way of transgressors is hard, and the ones who are choosing to live in violation of me, they pay for the same. For I say, when any man or woman will violate me, they come under my wrath, and I say that the same is a terrible force, in the sense that no longer do they have the abundance of mercy that I give to the righteous, but I say they come under the covering of the unrighteous, and indeed it is a sorrowful way. But I say, when men are so full of themselves, so stubborn and proud, they think they must have their way, I say they go in the way of fools. Now I say this day, do not be giving yourself as fools will give themselves to folly, but I say be giving yourselves unto me. That is, that you can be brought forth, uplifted, directed, and guided, for I am the one who is able to bring thee in my way. That is, I am the one who is able to bring thee forth, that you can indeed be rejoicing in me. For I say it is me, the living God alone of all the gods, who gives to thee the way wherein you can be kept always. And it is me, the living God alone of all the gods, who brings thee forth, that you can be renewed, ever rejoicing in my way. Now I say it is me, the living God, who is righteousness, blessedness, truth, and hope, and the peace intended for thee. I say, therefore, this day keep your focus, your vision single unto me, and you are brought forth by me. That is, you are brought forth in truth and light, strength and hope and mercy, time and again. For it is me, the living God, who will guide thee in life. And it is me, the living God, who will cause thee to be directed, corrected, and given the light always. I say this day, do not look for the world's way, but look for my way, for the same is life. That is, do not be as the foolish who have cast me off in this wicked generation, to take up the ways of the heathen, that will prove to be damnation of their souls. For I say there are many who are fools, blinded by pride and the god of this world and the love of self. And I say they go down the road that can only prove to be despair, because they are separated from me. Now I say that I, the living God, never intended for my own people to be separated from me, but I say that I've intended for my people to come forth ever rejoicing in me. That is, to come forth made glad for their privilege to love, to serve, to obey, and be found in my way. For I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of all righteousness, the way of all truth, and the way of mercy provided. And it is me, the living God, who will show to thee that I am indeed the one who is able to purpose thee. That is, I'm able to purpose thee in truth and light, strength and hope and mercy, because you belong to me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do delight to receive the ones who will endure, who will come forth, who will be thankful unto me. That is, the ones who will continue steadfast in the way that is my truth and my life. The ones who will come forth made glad for the privilege to believe, receive, and partake of me. For I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of all righteousness, the way of all truth, and the way of mercy provided. And it is me, the living God, who is ever present unto thee, to direct thee, correct thee, and guide thee forth. I say this day, when you consider how much that I, the living God, am vindicating my wrath in this time upon the wicked, upon the disobedient, the self-loving fools, I say, be thankful to be under mercy. And I say, be thankful that it is me that you can be serving, pleasing, and walking in obedience unto all of your days. I say, be thankful that I will direct, correct, and guide thee forth, for yes, indeed you are mine.